Hey everyone, I'm your host Aisha Lewis Redway, and I told you we was coming back to LA, right? And listen, we are speaking to some of like the most amazing creatives, artists who is really doing their thing, who's really climbing up to the top. And when I tell you who I have sitting next to me right here, I've been waiting for this. Okay, all
It's a
right,
pleasure.
Unspoken
Yes, ma'am.
Views.
How you doing?
I'm happy. You see, I've been cheesing since you walked through the door. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Happy Friday.
And happy
Yes,
Friday.
indeed.
Let's get into this because the one thing I really love about your sound is how authentic,
Yeah.
how just forward you are. I want you to kind of speak to, who you are as an artist, and how where do you see yourself kind of making a different transition, or you just be like, no, I'm good right here for now.
Yeah. I like where I am, but there's also always room for growth. And just to piggyback off that whole, you know, being authentic thing. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of that floating around. So, I do my best to stick to what I do, but I'm
Right.
also not afraid to try things either as an artist. So, um, authenticity mixed with experimentation, you come out with some of the best accidents, happy
Yes.
accidents with stuff like that. So
Yes.
that's something I pride myself on.
I love that. And then one thing is, and staying in that area of about being authentic,
Yeah.
we're in such a climate of social media and
Yeah.
so many trends,
Yeah.
and what I see from you and what you give to your audience is just the rawness.
Yeah.
How do you stay just in that mind frame without having to be pressured and being able to say like, oh my God, I gotta get on this trend train, and because it's moving over here, what am I doing? Like how do you mentally?
um well, you if you just pay attention, right, a lot of stuff phases out. And this isn't a phase for me. I've been doing this for a really long time, through the grace of God, and it's just a matter of blocking out the noise. I took a whole year off, 2024, and just was like, I need God to be the loudest voice in my head, and just trusted that opportunities
Listen, we've been
would.
getting words today. Okay, let me just. I'm sorry to do it, but we getting words today because I'm a firm believer in keeping God first.
Well, you have to. You know what I mean? And if you really trust Him, right? So that's
Yes.
to trust Him and to lean not on your own understanding. So
Right.
I don't understand, but that's okay because I know I can lean on God and He's gonna direct me. So you just have to have enough discipline to know what that is, and it's tough, it's lonely, it's hard, but when you're focused on something and you're hell-bent on getting there, you just have to block out the noise, or it'll distract you and you end up feeling like you gotta rush like everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know you did mention, I know this was going to be a little later, but I know you did mention about the break.
Yeah.
And then coming back into it. Was it difficult? Did you find it to be able just to step back in it as if you never left? How was that transitioning for you?
Very uncomfortable.
Talk about that, please.
Super uncomfortable because you start choosing you and saying yes to you, and with that, you lose a lot of people, but I didn't lose my peace. That's what was more important to
Oh,
me.
you about to make me go run across this building.
You know,
I didn't lose.
I didn't lose my peace, and
That's it.
like I said, I've been doing this for a while. I've been around a lot of different people and personalities, and it's just like I need to sit down and get quiet, regardless of what that required. Because even in taking that break, you ask how that went. I'm at home one day trying to figure this thing out, and I get an email from UC Riverside, and they're like, we want you to come perform. Mind you, I've done nothing for like the past 6 months, and of course, upon getting there, I'm asking the young lady who reached out to me, like, how did you even, and she was like, Spotify. That's how I found you. Not this person told me about you, like this person discovered me themselves and was like, I'm gonna pitch you to my board, and they asked me to come perform, and I was like, God, there's no reason to not. I wasn't even doing anything. I wasn't posting. I was just in my solitude, and God was like, thank you for being obedient. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's the one thing about God, like when you are obedient and you got to take that step back, because I'm quite
Yeah.
sure it was hard, because
Super tough.
you got to, you now at that point, now you got to step out of self.
You know, I mean, and there's people who support me and they're
Hmm.
asking me like, "Where are you?" and da da da, da, and I'm just like, I can't explain this part. But when I come back, there's no chip on my shoulder, there's no vengeance. I'm just setting out to do what I said I was going to do.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you just did something to my spirit.
Oh.
Oh my God. You made me lose my train of thought, but it's okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Speaking of just audiences and being on stage, what is like the one takeaway for yourself, in regards to when you're performing live? And because I know we artists, you kind of think that, okay, I'm gonna go on stage, I'm gonna do what I can, do
Yeah.
what I do.
Yeah.
But what's the takeaway for you? I think sometimes we always worry about what the audience is taking away from you.
Yeah.
What do you get to take away from being able to be live and be present?
That's it right there, being present, you know, amongst a ton of people who have no idea who I am. But as nervous as I am, because believe it or not, I'm so shy. Unless I'm, oh my God, terribly shy. But when it's time to go, it's time to go. So I
Okay.
just switch that thing on. Like,
Okay.
these people are here to see me. I got it, you know. And
know that's right.
that's my favorite takeaway: being present and getting that crowd engagement and getting new people who are listeners and want to be fans of the music. That's my favorite part.
I love that.
Yeah.
And one thing you talked about is just having a great support system.
Yeah.
Can you speak to that? Because I think sometimes artists feel like they need 50 million people around them
Yeah.
to do or move something, or
Yeah.
just to push something. Kind of talk about your team and support, because not only do they just support you in the artistry, they, like you said, they support you personally.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think that's a good ordeal to have.
Yeah.
Because you need community.
Yeah, you definitely do. I mean, I can start with just at home. You know, my partner, she's everything to me. You know, if I need something, you know, and something needs to get done, she's right there. Like, how do we make this thing real, no matter what it is?
Right.
And if I'm speaking outside of that, you know, shout out my boy Vinny. I love you. We've been doing this thing together for a while, and it's tough for us because, you know, we're bi-coastal. He's in New York and I'm out here, and
shout out New York.
no, but you know, Vinny styled this whole fit from New
Okay,
York. So I mean,
yes.
he's such a visionary, and he's helped a lot of my vision and things that I'm looking to put towards this thing move forward, and I'm so grateful for it, you know. And it's not like this huge team of people that are carrying me. We're trying to figure this thing out as we go.
As you go,
And I'm just blessed for the people who care about it and are as focused on it as I am.
And as you're creating and for upcoming releases and
Yeah.
things of that nature, where do you think your music would speak to the newer generation? Because I feel like, I'm a millennial, so.
Same. Yeah.
Okay. So we here.
Yeah, we here.
And a lot of the younger generation, that like everybody is very just, it's punchy and they straightforward and just like,
So
listen.
angry. Who hurt you?
right. So angry.
Yeah.
How do you put your music now into this space, or how do you feel like it's gonna grow in this new era and generation?
Yeah.
Because I think that's sometimes I feel like artists, they try to feel like they have to change the music to fit, instead of allowing them to just fit to you.
There's 8 billion people on the planet. I can't reach 100,000. I can't reach 1 million. Like, there's so many different people out here. There is a young 14-year-old right now that's discovering G-Funk for the first time, and she loves it, and that's going to be the trajectory of how she listens to music, or how he listens to music. So my job is to continue to just make music that feels good, and if it feels right for you, come be a part of the movement. I welcome you. You know what I mean? But if it's not for you, that's okay too.
It's okay.
I'm not designed to be for everybody, and I'm comfortable with that.
Let's remember, you're not designed to be for everybody. Okay, we got to remember that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
First of all, thank you again just for sitting down with me, having the conversation. Let's talk about any upcoming endeavors you have and
Okay.
what's going on. What does the rest of 2026 look for you?
Just onward and upward for
Okay.
me. I do have an EP out right now. It's a little 4-pack entitled "Something for Now,"
Yes.
and then I'll be dropping an album later in the year. So y'all stay tuned for that. That's coming sooner than later. But that's why we have something for now.
Yes.
February 6th, I'll be in Los Angeles again for the Homegrown Tour. I'll be performing there. Yes, head over to my Instagram. You can find the link in my bio and get your tickets there.
Yes, listen, we gotta support. I always say one thing about, being an independent, it takes so much.
Yeah.
It takes so much because we don't think about, as an audience, not everybody that's not knowing how the industry works.
For sure.
Don't know what time it takes away from your loved ones, what times it takes away from.
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a sacrifice.
Such a sacrifice.
And I love the EP. I've actually forgot to kind of include this in the sense of the question I wanted to ask for the EP because talk about like the emotion behind this EP because I be so wanting to be like, oh my God, like the lyricism and
Yeah.
everything. Like I want to know like what was they feeling really at that moment, like because it comes out so pure.
Yeah. And it was, there was nothing for me to be happy about going into 2024. I had lost a really, really close friend of mine, and after speaking to this person, I had never felt something so painful like that. So it was just kind of like, well, what do I write about? And Unspoken Views was birthed through spoken word. So it was like, let's dig back into that bag of feeling. So I started kind of just expressing, I guess, how I feel in the moment, opposed to I gotta make a hit song, or just kind of revisiting old scenarios and playing with those emotions, because I wasn't happy, I wasn't feeling super bouncy, which is typically what you would get from me, but I just
It was
wanted
just a
to strip it all
change,
down
yeah.
and just be vulnerable for a second, and that's how you got something for now.
When you look back at it, and I know that, like I said, we're in that era of truth and being authentic. Do you feel like there was something like, no, maybe I should have kept that to myself? Like,
No,
okay,
no, because we all go through things.
of course.
You know what I mean? Whether that be relationship, whether that be loss. I mean, I didn't necessarily touch on loss in a death aspect, so to speak. I just kind of focused on the love part of it. That's kind of been like my little wave.
Okay, yes.
But still, just again revisiting scenarios and kind of seeing what that sounds like if I put it in music.
All right. Listen, I need y'all to support my girl. I need you to go out, not just stream it. I mean, purchase it. Listen, I already ran up my credit card. So. Ran up.
Thank you.
Just getting music by itself. But
Yes, ma'am.
please, because it takes so much, and they put so much work into the music that they're giving us. So please, let's support.
Yes.
Don't forget the EP. Don't forget. You said an album getting ready to come
Yeah, it's
out
coming, it's
this
coming, it's
year,
coming, yes, ma'am.
and you're performing as
Yeah,
well. You're
yes.
coming back to LA. So I mean, make sure y'all like, follow, subscribe, do whatever you got to do.
Yes,
support.
please.
All right. I just want to say, so since we're here for Grammy weekend, anybody you're excited to see, or anybody that you want to win in
You know
regards
what?
to the categories?
I've been hearing a lot of buzz around Olivia Dean. I'm rooting for her, real big. Just young, talented, and shout out to all the nominees at the
Yes.
Grammys. I'm looking forward to being one of the nominees one day
And she
myself.
is.
So yeah, we're onward and upward.
Yes. And once again, thank you so much for the conversation.
Easy,
And I
thank
appreciate it. And best in all that you do. I want to see you rise, keep rising to the
Thank
top
you.
because
I appreciate
amazing work.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Easy. I appreciate you.
Of course.